Imagine this. A dusty training yard somewhere in the middle America, joint NATO exercise, blazing sun, hundreds of special forces operators from a dozen countries standing in a loose circle. In the middle stands a 6'4", 240-pound German KSK captain. Chiseled jaw, mirrored sunglasses, sleeves rolled up to show forearms like bridge cables, smirking like he already won the fight that hasn't even started yet. Across from him, a 5'4", maybe 135-pound Filipino soldier from the 1st Scout Ranger Regiment, quiet, baby-faced, wearing an oversized woodland camo blouse that makes him look even smaller. The German cracks his neck, flexes, and says loud enough for everyone to hear, in perfect but arrogant English, "You sure you don't want to forfeit, little man? I don't want to send you home in a box." The circle erupts in laughter. Phones come out. Someone starts a countdown. The ref barely finishes saying fight when, bam! 11 seconds later, the German is flat on his back, eyes rolled white, out cold, with the tiny Filipino already walking away like he just finished taking out the trash. The entire yard goes dead silent, then explodes. That clip hit 200 million views in 4 days. The German's own unit tried to memory hole it. The Filipinos' command promoted him on the spot, and the internet has never shut up about it since. But nobody, not a single viral breakdown, not one reaction channel, has told you the full insane story of what actually happened that day, who these two men really were, and why that 11-second knockout changed Special Forces culture forever. Stay until the end, because the part they cut out of every upload, the part that made career soldiers delete the video in shame, is the most brutal 5 seconds you'll ever hear. If you're new here, smash subscribe right now, because this channel only drops stories the military prays you forget. Let's roll. His name was Hauptmann Lukas König, KSK, Kommando Spezialkräfte, Germany's Tier 1, the guys who hunt terrorists in the Hindu Kush and make Delta look friendly. Lucas was the golden boy of his entire career, son of a general, top of his class at the German Military Academy, handpicked for KSK selection at 22, finished the infamous Hell Week with the fastest recorded time in a decade. By 28, he was already a troop commander. The man was built like an Olympic decathlete crossed with a panzer. He could deadlift 600 pounds, run a sub-5-minute mile in combat boots, and clear rooms so fast that American DevGru guys asked him to slow down during exchanges so they could keep up. Lucas had one problem, though: ego the size of the Rhine. He never lost a sparring match in his life, not once. Not in boxing, not in judo, not in combatives. He had highlight reels of him ragdolling Dutch commandos, French GIGN, even a British SAS warrant officer who still won't speak his name. Every time, same routine. He'd smile for the cameras, flex, drop a line in English about how today you learn German engineering, and then put the guy to sleep. It became his brand. His Instagram, before the Bundeswehr made him delete it, had 400K followers just watching him humiliate allies in training. Now let's meet the other guy, Staff Sergeant Gabriel "Gab" Salazar, 1st Scout Ranger Regiment, Philippine Army, 27 years old, born in a tiny barangay in Samar, where the NPA and the Army were still shooting at each other when he was a kid. Gab joined at 17, lying about his age because his family had no rice. He's the smallest guy in any room he's ever been in. But Scout Ranger selection in the Philippines makes the U.S. Ranger School look like summer camp. 7 months, 90% dropout rate. They march you through jungle with no food, make you drink from rivers full of crocodiles, interrogate you while waterboarding you with seawater. Gab graduated top 5%. Then he volunteered for the Light Reaction Regiment, the Philippine equivalent of Delta, and passed that too. The man had been in more real gunfights by age 25 than most Western Tier 1 guys see in a career. Kidnapped VIP rescues, mountain ambushes against Abu Sayyaf, clearing tunnels most people wouldn't crawl into with a tank. But because he looked like a 15-year-old skateboarder, nobody outside the Philippine SOF community had ever heard of him. Fast forward to June 2023, joint exercise called Balikatan Thunder, biggest U.S.-Philippine drill ever, but this year they invited observers from NATO partners. Germany sent a KSK detachment. One of the events was an open mat cultural exchange, basically sanctioned smoker fights, no rank, no badges, just bragging rights. Everyone knew it was coming. Lucas had been talking trash on the group chat for weeks. I hope the Asians bring someone who can reach my chin. The day arrives, 5 degrees on the mat, humidity you could chew. Operators from 14 nations circled up. First few bouts are fun. Some Marine recon guys, a couple of Polish Grom beasts, everybody clapping, good vibes. Then Lucas steps in. He's wearing those tiny black Euro shorts, veins popping, looking like a comic book villain. He points straight at the Philippine contingent and says, "I want the smallest one. Less paperwork when I break him." Gab was sitting cross-legged on the ground eating a banana, minding his business. His platoon sergeant taps him. "They're calling you, kid." Gab just sighs, wipes his mouth, and walks in like he's going to the chow hall. No warm-up, no trash talk, no flexing. He's so short the ref literally has to bend down to tap gloves with him. The rules. 3 2-minute rounds or finish, MMA gloves, no kicks to a downed opponent, no eye gouges. Basically anything goes. Ref looks at Lucas. "Ready?" Nods, looks at Gab. "Ready?" Gab gives a tiny smile and a thumbs up. Circle tightens. Phones are already recording from 20 angles. Ref slaps his hands together. Fight. Here's where every short clip lies to you. They all start the timer when the ref says, "Fight." The real timer, the one the official judge held, started the moment both fighters squared up. That's important. Second one, Lucas does his signature bounce, hands low, smirking, waiting for Gab to rush in like every terrified opponent before him. Second two, Gab doesn't bounce. He just walks forward, hands relaxed at chest height, almost like he's window shopping. Second three, Lucas throws the first move, a lazy jab to measure distance, more taunt than attack. Gab slips it by maybe 2 inches, no wasted motion. Second four, Lucas laughs out loud and throws the same jab again, harder, trying to embarrass him. Gab's head is gone again, same tiny slip. Second five, now Lucas is annoyed. He lunges with a real combination, jab cross hook, the same one that dropped the SAS guy last year. Gab backs straight up in a perfect line, hands still relaxed, letting every punch miss by millimeters. The crowd starts murmuring. Second six, Lucas says, and you can hear it clear on the audio. "Okay, now you die." He explodes forward with a flying knee aimed at Gab's face. Here's where it gets stupid. Gab doesn't block the knee. He steps inside it, shoulder down, and drives a short, vicious uppercut straight into Lucas's solar plexus, the exact spot where the ribcage ends. You hear the whump like someone hit a heavy bag with a baseball bat. All the air leaves Lucas's body in a whoosh you can hear 10 meters away. Second 7-8. Lucas's eyes go wide, mouth open, no sound coming out. He's already drowning on dry land. Second 9. Gab pivots, throws a short left hook to the liver that folds Lucas like a lawn chair. Second 10. As Lucas starts dropping, Gab throws the money shot. A right overhand that starts at his hip, travels maybe 8 inches, and lands flush on the button of Lucas's chin. The German's head snaps back so hard his sunglasses fly into the crowd. Second 11. Lucas hits the mat face first, completely limp. Out, lights off, drooling. The ref doesn't even bother counting. He just waves it off and yells for medics. Total time from fight to unconscious, 11:04 seconds. The circle is silent for 3 full heartbeats. Then pandemonium. Filipinos are screaming. Americans are losing their minds. The Germans look like someone just burned their flag. But here's the part every single viral clip cuts out. The part that made the video disappear from half the platforms. While the medics are running in, Gab kneels next to Lucas, checks his pulse like a pro, then leans in and says something in perfect English, loud enough for the closest phones to catch it. You can read his lips even if the audio is muffled. Next time you call someone little, remember David only needed 1 stone. Then he pats Lucas twice on the cheek, almost gentle, stands up and walks back to his banana like absolutely nothing happened. That line broke the internet harder than the knockout. Within 24 hours, Thucker 1 stone was trending worldwide. Filipino diaspora was printing it on shirts. Somebody photoshopped Gab as David holding Lucas's head like Goliath. The official KSK Instagram posted a black square and disabled comments for a week. Lucas woke up 10 minutes later with a concussion, bruised liver, and the worst headache of his life. He refused to look anyone in the eye for the rest of the exercise. Rumor says when he got back to Grafenwöhr, his commander made him run the entire troop through cultural sensitivity training and extra combatives with the Filipino exchange instructors. Gab? He got a direct promotion to Master Sergeant, a personal call from the Philippine president, and an open invitation to try out for the U.S. Army Special Forces selection as a foreign exchange, which he politely declined because, "I already have a flag, sir." And here's the craziest footnote nobody talks about. 6 months later at the next Balikatan, Lucas showed up again. Same mat. Same circle. But this time he walked straight to Gab, shook his hand, bowed slightly, and asked, on camera, to be taught that 11-second sequence. They trained together for 2 weeks. Lucas now teaches it to every new KSK candidate and calls it the Salazar combination. He even got the David and Goliath tattoo in Filipino Baybayin script on his ribs. Sometimes the mountain learns to bow. That's the real story of the day a cocky German giant met a quiet Filipino David and got slept in 11 seconds flat. If this is your first time here and you love stories the military doesn't want told, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Because next week, I'm dropping the insane story of the female Marine who beat 3 SEALs in the Crucible and got banned for life. You're not going to want to miss it. Drop a like if you think Gab is the most dangerous 5'4" man on planet Earth, and I'll see you in the next one. Salamat, and auf Wiedersehen.